Hey, it's Izzy from iHeart's Your News Now podcast. In the latest headlines, AFL rocked by another homophobic slur, Bonza planes repossessed, and the Greens slam the government's new gas plan. Get your news when you want it. Search for Your News Now on whatever podcast app you're listening on.
If you're listening to this while watching your kids play, just stop and have a look at them. Can you see them clearly? I mean really see them clearly. Here's Michael, a Specsavers optometrist with more.
Now, if you're struggling to see objects in the distance, it may be time for an eye check. But even if you're not, an eye check is an important health check everyone should get regularly. Our qualified optometrists use the latest technology to help detect eye conditions before you may even have symptoms.
Your care is Specsavers business. Bulk billed eye tests are available to everyone with a valid Medicare card without optometry restrictions. Book at Specsavers today.
So, a little community service announcement to those, we're in a pretty big tech world. There's TVs, have got cameras on them. Phones do, there's Wi-Fi, there's Bluetooth, there's spyware, there's electronic cameras and audio devices that you can buy all over the world. And you can be totally unaware that you're being hacked or even being spied on by your own spouse.
Yeah, we've got Tristan Wilson, who is a spyware expert, here to tell us about what to look out for. Hi, Tristan.
Your wife must be quite nervous knowing you're the tech expert on. No one would be stepping out of line at your joint.
That's right. It's always a bit scary when you go and stay in a hotel overnight and you're looking around the room for hidden cameras and listening devices and checking out the smart TV.
What do you look for those? Because I need to know what to look for as well.
Because Jackie gets nervous about... Does that happen more often than people would think, that someone set up a spy camera in a hotel room?
Yeah, probably not really in hotels, but definitely we get a lot of calls from concerned people that are renting Airbnbs and serviced apartments where they may be there for a couple of months. So often we find little hidden cameras that are generally left in air vents or the air conditioning unit, and they can be quite small, really the size of a pinhole camera. We've even come across those sort of 3M hooks that you find behind bathroom doors where you pop a towel on with a little pinhole camera as well. So
oh, my God, they're so small you'd never notice, right?
Well, Tristan, they're being hidden in every, very normal household items these days, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Even power banks. So a power bank that you may charge your phone with, you can certainly get ones now that have hidden cameras and listening devices in them. Quite often we find USB charging ports that have little micro SIM cards in them that are transmitting back to the person that's obviously wanting to spy on their spouse or partner. So pretty devastating stuff. Power boards these days that are all Wi-Fi enabled, so they're transmitting the information straight back to the person that's obviously spying on the person they want to spy on.
What about accessing phones? Like if you want to put access someone's phone, do you need to be in physical...
That's illegal.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying when the people do it, is it true that you don't even have to have physical contact with the phone to be able to do it?
That's correct. So in the past, probably in the last 3 or 4 years, certainly you needed access to the phone to download it to the hardware of the phone.
Yeah.
Now there's, in the last few months, there's certainly companies coming out on the market that you only need the victim's Apple ID credentials or Google Gmail credentials to actually impact the device. So certainly have gone the days where you need physical access to the device. It can all be done now through the cloud environment.
So hang on. So if let's say you're a mum with 3 kids and you think your husband's stepping out on you because he's gone weird and things are odd, are these the type of people that are putting spyware on phone? Even though it's got to be illegal, right? There's got to be some sort of law against eavesdropping and secretly recording, whether it's vision or audio, correct?
Correct. I think probably the biggest issue is a lot of this software, Kyle, is sold as parental control software. So they don't really come out and say it's spyware, we're spying on your partner, we can see their every movement, location.
Oh, so the workaround is, keeping an eye on your kids, but that's a furphy, is it?
Correct, and a lot of online retailers as well, especially around hidden cameras and listening devices, they often call them nanny cams, probably to evade the fact that they're actually spy cameras and hidden cameras.
Did you say mannequins, like mannequins?
No,
nanny cams.
I thought, Jesus, the mannequins they're watching us.
No, we don't need to worry about the mannequins.
Suddenly there's a mannequin in the lounge room.
Well, that
I was
has...
married to a guy who put a mannequin in a lounge room, so...
Yeah, and you still married that guy. That's good. You got to question yourself.
It was
there,
art,
right?
Kyle. It was art.
Was
Okay,
it?
so...
Or was it council throw out?
What is the most common place that you would find a hidden camera somewhere?
Certainly in the air vents, so air conditioning units in the air vents. Obviously, they're quite inconspicuous. And these days, they don't even have the little LED lights on them a lot of the time. So you can't even really...
How do you check? Is
Is there a way for us to check?
I know that, and these machines I think aren't legal, but sometimes where I go to places that we do the bug sweep. A couple of times a year I get someone in to do a bug sweep, make sure there's no cameras, no secret recording devices. But people can't just get a bug sweeper of their own. Only a specialist can do that, right?
Yeah, correct. Obviously, you need the right equipment to find this illegal surveillance. But these days, modern phones have really good cameras, so you can get some pretty good apps for your phone that can actually search the room for any camera lenses.
Oh, wow!
The phones aren't great when it probably comes to finding GPS trackers and other Wi-Fi enabled type devices and that sort of thing. But certainly phones, given the quality of these cameras these days, you can download some pretty good apps from the Google Play Store and obviously the Apple App Store as well.
Now Tristan, if you're at home watching your flat screen TV and let's say you've got some pornography up there, everyone else is out, can someone be watching you through the television camera?
It is always possible. Obviously, the problem with a lot of these smart TVs these days, especially the Samsungs and the LGs,
I've got those.
They integrate back into your Samsung account environment, which may be also on your mobile phone, etc. So if anybody does have access to some of those accounts, there is always the possibility that those cameras can be opened remotely and that internet history accessed as well. So we always just remind people to regularly check the devices that are logged into your accounts, because often you may... To our earlier sort of point around Airbnbs, often a lot of people go to an Airbnb or a hotel room, they'll log into the TV to access their YouTube Premium, to watch their content, etc., and they forget to log out. And the next person comes along and they've pretty much got free access to that person's account.
What do I do to check that?
You're looking at your
what
phone
am I
now.
logging out of?
What are you looking at there, Jackie? Are you worried about something?
Yeah, what would I be... You said to check your phone that you're not logged in or something.
Well, sometimes you might notice extra data being used or your phone just heating up and it's not in the sun. That's usually some spyware just working the battery overtime in the background. Is that right, Tristan?
Yeah, that's correct. So often some of the telltale signs of spyware are the battery obviously getting very hot. We've had clients before where their batteries actually got up to 85 degrees and their screen started to warp and the plastic started to melt. So temperature certainly, and that's put in the freezer. So temperature certainly a telltale sign that there may be spyware on a device. As you said, also data usage going up and the battery draining quickly as well. So they tend to be the signs. And also I think it's important for the user to sort of follow their gut feeling as well, because with this sort of software as well, you can open the camera remotely, you can open the microphone remotely, and it's as cheap as $15 or $20 a month. So
someone could have this on Jackie's phone, for example, and just be watching her through her own camera.
How can I stop that from happening? Is there an app that I can get that locks that or something,
Yeah, so we always recommend a good antivirus software for your devices, not only your mobile phone, but obviously iPads and other devices that the person may have.
What about fridges? Some fridges have got internet control. There's so many devices now.
What do we do? What's the app that we get for this?
Yes, so all the normal antivirus type software out there, such as Norton, are always going to be handy. They're not going to give you full 100% protection, so it's always still worth changing your passwords regularly. Also checking the password managers. So Apple and Google have a built-in password manager where a lot of people often save their usernames and passwords to quickly access websites. So we always recommend to regularly check those, because often with spyware it does need to save its password and username somewhere on the device, and it tends to save it in those password managers. So it's always good just to check those.
What about, I was told years ago from quite a famous UK celebrity, never use Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. You might as well just leave the front door open to your telephone. And this is how News of the World and all those newspapers in England got caught up hacking, because they were Bluetoothing and Wi-Fiing into phones. Is that still a problem?
Yeah, it's still a problem. A lot of people are now getting infected, their device is getting impacted through charging ports. So USB charging ports, the big rave probably a couple of years ago was never use a Wi-Fi network. That's still certainly the case, but now we're finding a lot of hackers and scammers, etc. They use USB charging ports at airports now and hotels, etc., to actually transmit and send malicious code down to the victim's phone.
I did hear of that airport one. That was quite rampant around the world. You plug in at the airport in the charge,
or even just Wi-Fi. My friend got hacked that way.
Your
Wi-Fi.
friend?
Yeah.
What happened to them?
He got blackmailed and everything.
Oh,
yeah.
Blackmailed for what? What was he doing?
They accessed all his emails and they happened to find a photo in one of the emails.
Of what? A naughty one.
It was a little and he wasn't too bothered about it, but he fought it and
fought it.
Well, rather than pay, he pushed back basically.
And said, I ain't paying.
Yeah.
Send
I don't
the
know what
dick
happened
pic
in it. It didn't get sent out though.
Yeah, right.
They didn't.
Yeah, I see a lot of.
Yeah, it can easily happen.
I saw on the Channel 7 Spotlight show the other day. They were in the Philippines with some victims of proper scams where they'd lost hundreds of thousands, their whole life savings.
Yeah.
They brought the whole place down, but these things are just going to get worse and worse. And with digital money, like Macquarie Bank's now gone cashless, that'll be the first bank, then the others will go cashless, and then we're forced to do everything on the digital, and a lot of us are terrified because there's all this access and they figure out a way. We patch a hole, they figure out another way. I feel that the future is we're doomed with the money situation. I don't like it. I don't like the cashless society bullshit.
You know this Macquarie Bank going cashless story in all the headlines?
Yeah.
Macquarie Bank had one branch in all of Sydney. They don't have branches, really.
Yeah, but if I wanted to get cash out...
from this one branch is now not doing cash.
Yeah, listen, I know that you're a lefty...
I don't like it when I see stories making out like it's a big deal when it's not really.
They just said it's not one of the big four, but it's the first to go cashless. So the rest
from its one branch, yeah.
That's right. But what if that was your branch? Oh, big difference then, eh?
It's always been more of an online bank
Tristan,
anyway.
We tend to do this.
Oh, Brooklyn, he's such a little bitch. You know what? You get massive pictures in your Instagram too, Brooklyn.
What do you think,
segment.
Tristan?
I think phone safety. I think a lot of people worry that they may be being spied on by, be it their partners, governments, even YouTube and Google. Often will go out to a client, they'll ask us, is YouTube listening to us? Is Google listening to us? I think in general, phone safety and security is really important because it's not only to stop stuff like that, but it's also to stop everyday scammers getting into your phone and actually stealing your identity, extortion, blackmail, etc. as well. So I think we look at maybe phone security and safety probably not as a priority as probably what we should. And I think if we keep our phone safe, it'll also keep some of those other unwanted parties out of our devices and life.
Yeah.
All righty, thank you, Tristan.
The easiest thing for Jackie to do is not take photos of herself nude in the bath.
Yeah.
That'd be a way to avoid it, right, Jack?
Yeah, well, I don't do that, so...
Yeah, well, I was just guessing.
Yeah.
I didn't really. Tristan, thank you.
Thank you, Tristan. Appreciate it.
If you want more info, you can head to protectivegroup.com.au if this is something that you think, I think I might be a victim of this.
All righty, guys. Coming up shortly, the Alphabet Swallow Challenge.
Now, what is this again?
It is a new challenge where you have to keep continuously pouring water into your open mouth, lying down, whilst also saying or singing or doing the alphabet.
What for? What are we doing it for?
Because it's just the latest challenge going around to see how good you can swallow.
So there's no risk of drowning while doing this?
I don't think
guys,
so. It hasn't been flagged as a dangerous thing at all.
You're pouring your own water bottle. You're not going to drown.
Yeah, no, I don't think you are.
What, is this what the kids are doing on TikTok and all of a sudden we have, are we pouring water in our mouth? What a stupid idea.
Let's ditch it.
Okay, ditch it then.
We don't need that rubbish. What dickhead 11-year-olds are doing things in their bedroom, pouring water. It's not for us. It's bullshit. Maybe we've got the wrong executive producer.
I just thought since we were
you thought wrong.
licking the chocolate the other day, it was a good little...
Guys sucking a chocolate bar off whilst a girl's holding it looks like the guy's given a head. Well, what's this supposed to represent? Where's the where's the snigger bit? There's no snigger bit. There's no.
Wasn't it something to do with swallowing? You framed it as a swallowing reference.
The swallow challenge.
You've got terrible ideas. Any more of these terrible ideas, you're going to have to go over and work at the opposition station.
Okay, no.
Right? Where all the other people.
I'd hate to go there. I don't want to go there.
Well, you won't have to unless you start getting better ideas. What's your next idea? Oh, let's go to the park and meet people. Another dumb idea. These people that listen, some of them are horrible people. You don't want to meet them. It's a disappointment. And Jackie's got O News coming up as well.
Y'all been great. Thank you so much. Kyle and Jackie O.
Do you struggle to make out faraway objects or read the restaurant menu? Specsavers are your eye health professionals. And here's Michael, one of Specsavers optometrists, to tell us why it's important to get your eyes tested regularly.
An eye test is more than just a simple vision test. It's an important health check that looks at the health of the eye and can be critical in detecting many eye conditions early, making them easier to manage. Each Specsavers store is proudly run by qualified local optometrists who care about their local communities.
Your care is Specsavers business. Bulk billed eye tests are available to everyone with a valid Medicare card without optometry restrictions. Book at Specsavers today.